So today we're going to talk about Algebra 1, 9.5, solving quadratics using the quadratic formula. I'm going to spare you guys the whole process of building the quadratic formula here. We're just going to get the formula and solve using it. So remember, we are still trying to solve this. Standard form of a quadratic set equal to 0. And so we're going to use something we call the quadratic formula, and the quadratic formula is x equals the opposite of b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where a, b, and c come from the coefficients in standard form. Once you establish those three variables, then it just becomes a plug and chug game where I plug it in using substitution and order of operations. So it makes it a lot easier. So my first step I want you to do, list A, B, C. 2, sub in, and 3, solve. There are 3 situations here. You can have, just like before, 2 solutions, 1 solution, or no solutions. It matters how many times, because remember the solutions are where does it cross the x-axis. So where does it cross the x-axis? So let's attempt our first problem. So here's your quadratic. Notice that it's not in standard form. So maybe back to our steps before, I'm not going to change back, but maybe as part of step 1 to list A, B, and C, it's put it in standard form so you can list A, B, and C. So to put this in standard form, I need to take the 20 and move it to the left side. And I accomplish that by, it's already subtracted, so we need to add. So x squared minus 12x plus 20 equals 0. So is everybody okay with that? Okay. Now, I want to use the quadratic formula. So what I'm going to do is I am going to list A, B, and C. A, the coefficient on x squared, is 1. There's nothing there, so it has to be a 1 because it's 1 times it. Then we go to B, negative 12. And C, 20. The reason I have you guys list A, B, and C is that way you don't forget what they are. There's a lot of times where students will all just get mixed up and just put something in that they didn't even have. Number 2, it says fill into the quadratic formula. Guess what? To fill it in, you need to write it down. So, Mr. Contract, does that mean I need to write down this thing every single time? Yes. So, opposite of B, plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I now have it. I can now start to fill it in using substitution. And when I play coach, I will use parentheses. You use parentheses so that way you don't drop negatives and you can use your order of operations more efficiently. So, here we go. X equals the opposite of negative 12 plus or minus square root of B again was negative 12, but negative 12 will be squared minus 4 times A times C. What was A? A is 1. C, 20. And all of this is over 2 times 1. Is everybody able to fill in where this all went?